Caitlin Clark isn't just improving, she's becoming unpredictable. While rivals chase clout with choreographed clips and filters, Clark is rewriting her entire game behind closed doors. And the architect? Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White, a builder so meticulous she once diagrammed plays on napkins mid-flight. Together, they're forging a blueprint so dangerous it could flip the WNBA. This isn't a comeback, it's an evolution, and every rumor you've heard is only half the story. Picture the quiet of an empty gym at 6 a.m., lights humming, air cool enough to see breath. Clark is already on make number 174 when the sun peeks through the back window. A single camera records every rep, but the footage never hits social media. It's archived for White's nightly review. While highlight reels collect likes, habits collect championships. Clark and White are betting the season on that difference. What follows isn't a string of drills. It's a systematic dismantling of predictability, an experiment in turning raw talent into something the league hasn't seen before. Rewind to August 27th, 2024. The Fever led Washington by 9 with 3 minutes left, a win that would have clinched the final playoff spot. Clark came off a high screen, rejected the hedge, drove right, elevated, and got hammered by Alicia Clark's help defense. No call. She missed, stumbled, and the Mystics stormed back. Season over. In her exit interview, Clark admitted, voice cracking, "They knew exactly where I was going. That's on me." White replayed that clip on loop when she flew to Iowa. She didn't berate. She asked, "Ready to erase that comfort zone?" Clark nodded before the question finished. That day, they formed a pact. Every weakness, no matter how small, gets dragged into the light. Over the ensuing months, they dissected spacing maps, fatigue curves, even sleep patterns. Clark began wearing an aura ring. White received nightly readouts. Rest and recovery became metrics as tangible as shot percentage. White's coaching philosophy borrows from chaos theory. Tiny adjustments create monumental outcomes. She references Lorentz equations in film sessions. If a butterfly flapping its wings changes the weather, a toe angled 5 degrees can change a drive angle. Players chuckle at the metaphor until they see side-by-side clips proving it in HD. Training includes alternative futures, scrimmages where every whistle resets the shot clock to 8 and mandates a different finishing solution. First possession must end with a floater, second with a kick-out, third with a left-hand scoop. Constraint forces Clark's brain to exit autopilot, building neural highways to rarely used moves. Elasticity, ambiguity, inevitability. 3 pillars turning raw skill into multi-layered weaponry. Film doesn't lie. Last season, Clark drove right 68% of the time, stepped back left on 84% of isolations, and finished at the rim with her left hand only 11 times all year. Chaos. Wednesdays fix that. One possession starts 3 on 5, the next 6 on 4. Teammates spring random traps, junk zones, late switches. If Clark repeats a sequence 3 times, the whistle blows, and the point is erased. During a recent closed scrimmage, she completed 14 straight possessions without repeating a dribble pattern. Assistant coach Jantel Lavender put it best. "I stopped guessing, she changed the question." Predictability wasn't just broken, it was pulverized. Remember the viral photo of Clark flexing? People swore it was CGI. White laughed and released the lab numbers. Plus 7 pounds lean mass, body fat 9.8%, squat max up 60 pounds. Strength coach Avery Torquay Johnson calls the program Load, Then Explode. Clark deadlifts at sunrise, then sprints stadium steps carrying a 25-pound med ball. This isn't vanity, it's functional armor. Last year, defenders bumped her off spots. Now she absorbs contact and elevates again without hitch. Film doesn't lie. Last season, Clark drove right 68% of the time, stepped back left on 84% of isolations, and finished at the rim with her left hand only 11 times all year. Chaos. Wednesdays fix that. One possession starts 3 on 5, the next 6 on 4. Teammates spring random traps, junk zones, late switches. If Clark repeats a sequence 3 times, the whistle blows, and the point is erased. During a recent closed scrimmage, she completed 14 straight possessions without repeating a dribble pattern. Assistant coach Jantel Lavender put it best. "I stopped guessing, she changed the question." Predictability wasn't just broken, it was pulverized. Remember the viral photo of Clark flexing? People swore it was CGI. White laughed and released the lab numbers. Plus 7 pounds lean mass, body fat 9.8%, squat max up 60 pounds. Strength coach Avery Torquay Johnson calls the program Load, Then Explode. Clark deadlifts at sunrise, then sprints stadium steps carrying a 25-pound med ball. This isn't vanity, it's functional armor. Last year, defenders bumped her off spots. Now she absorbs contact and elevates again without hitch. White borrowed the Warriors playbook. Turn your best shooter into the screener. Clark straps catapult GPS under her jersey. Each practice has a target mileage. Beat it, you leave early. Miss it, you run it again. Gravity becomes weaponized. One scrimmage call, Ghost 95, saw Clark sprint baseline to wing, slip a screen, pop to the top, splash. Defenses lost her by the second rotation. Ambidexterity is the knockout punch. Nights end with the dirty 500. Wrong foot, wrong hand finishes. Miss more than 25, practice extends. Her offhand handle now runs at 92% of her dominant speed. Kyrie territory. The debut Euro dubbed the Ghost embarrassed Atlanta defenders in a closed run. Scouts scribbled furiously. Geometry just shifted in Clark's favor. Cardio meets cognition in Mirage Miles. Clark jogs 400 meters while assistants flash blitz diagrams. Heart rate variability climbed. Fourth quarter threes now fall at 41%, up from 28. White microdoses rest, inserting Clark as a decoy for 3 possessions, then unleashing her off a curl when defenders exhale. Every night ends with the audit. Clark rewatches practice at 1.5 times speed, dictating a self-critique podcast. 10:42 a.m., shot 13, elbow flare. Files auto-sync to White, who replies with zipped counter drills before sunrise. Teammates copied the ritual. Now the locker room hums like a call center of self-improvement. Down a hallway sits the dungeon. No windows, just whiteboards, VR headsets, and a 180-degree projection screen. Ex-players, poker champ Daniel Negreanu, and analytics nerds craft hybrid defenses. Clark solves them in real time. Fail 3 in a row, she's dropped into a new scenario. Fever down 2 with 15 left. The motto on the door, if you're dreaming normal, you're awake. Culture shifted fast. Nalissa Smith logs lifts on the shared spreadsheet. Kelsey Mitchell meditates post-practice. Accountability has teeth. Miss a box out, you demo the correct form to the team. Assist chains in scrimmage rose 23%, proof that star ascension can fuel egalitarian hoops. Seattle's Noelle Quinn charted Clark's left-hand drives on her vacation flight. ABC flexed Fever Liberty to Sunday primetime. First non-final slot ever. Vegas Clark's MVP odds from 35 to 1 to 12 to 1. The tremor is real and spreading. Reese embraces villainy, posting a countdown clock. CC, I'm coming. Brittany Griner promises a custom block celebration. Diana Taurasi grins, I love prodigies. They keep my trophy shelf roomy. For fans, it's drama. For White, it's chess. Every quote becomes fuel for a sideline exploit. Chef dietitian Marina Solis scrapped Clark's muffin and cold brew habit. A color-coded meal matrix syncs macros to practice load. Nights end in a 50-degree cryotub with binaural beats. Shooting percentages bumped 2 points. White jokes, give me science or give me voodoo, just give me buckets. 15-minute windows for cameras, then curtains drop. The blackout fuels mystique. Reddit sleuths freeze-frame grainy clips like the Zapruder film. Yet every released highlight is timed. A midnight post of Clark draining 22 straight threes caught algorithms sleeping, racking 1 million views before dawn. Secrecy is strategy. Timing is control. Monte Carlo Sims pegged Clark at 27-8-6 on 60. TS%, with her defensive RPM leaping from -2.3 to +0.4. Indiana's title odds jumped to 5th best. White shrugs. Simulations don't box out. They're lighthouse, not destiny. But the numbers say the storm is coming. Every sport needs that moment. Jordan's switch hand layup, Curry's 37-foot dagger. Clark rehearses hers nightly. Euro left, skip past triple. Steal off inbound, logo pull-up. Fever jerseys sold out in 7 hours. A grandmother waited 6 just so my grandbaby remembers history. Years from now, you'll brag you saw Clark 2.0 ignite, and if anyone doubts, just replay this video. Your digital ticket stub to the birth of a legend. Caitlin Clark 2.0 isn't a slogan. It's a data-driven overhaul executed with military precision. Stronger core, shorter gather, ambidextrous finishes, off-ball gravity, sustainable stamina, defensive bite. Stephanie White hasn't upgraded a player. She's authored an unsolvable equation in high tops. So on opening night, don't blink. The hesitation you expect won't come. The counter you never predicted will. When the buzzer blinks 35-8-11 next to Clark's name, remember, the warning signs were right here. The WNBA just evolved. And if you look away, it'll happen without you.